Hearken to the sound of the heavens rending open, for the atmosphere of your life is being reordered at this very second. Today is the day of the great activation. I am laying my hand upon you right now, not in a distant thought, but in a tangible, sovereign collision of spirit and flesh. With this divine touch, I am not merely unlocking what was bolted shut. I am shattering the gates of brass and cutting the bars of iron in sunder. I am awakening the dormant giants within your soul and reviving the dreams that pain tried to bury in a shallow grave. Can you feel the fire? It is the flame of the divine reigniting the embers that your own tears tried to extinguish. There are only minutes left in this specific window of visitation. You are not here by a roll of the dice or a stroke of luck. I myself have traced every agonizing step of your journey to lead you to this exact encounter. While the world is drowning in the noise of the mundane, you have been pulled into the sanctuary of my presence. Know this, when I touch a life, nothing, absolutely nothing, remains the same. What people declared lost, I restore with interest. What time tried to erase, I rewrite with the ink of eternity. What the enemy thought he had ground into dust, I am rebuilding today to be 10 times stronger than before. This is the urgent cry of your heart calling out to the heart of the Father. My hand is extended over you not to point a finger of accusation, but to lift you into a dimension where no earthly force can pull you down. I am the God who is never late, who is never mistaken, and who has never once failed a soul that dared to believe. Your groans of agony have been recorded in the books of heaven. Your silence was not abandonment, it was my strategy. While you thought the world had forgotten you, I had already released the command that changes the direction of your bloodline forever. Look to the horizon, for Archangel Michael has already been dispatched on your behalf. He moves like a sword of lightning through the impossible, standing as an impenetrable wall against the devourer. Just as he cast the dragon from the celestial heights, he is now casting out the spirit of poverty, the spirit of infirmity, and the spirit of delay from your house. He is clearing the thorns from your path and leveling the mountains that made you weary. He is moving to protect your mother, to shield your sister, and to deliver every loved one who has been caught in the crossfire of this spiritual war. The clock is ticking. You have only a few hours left to lay hold of this decree before the day closes. This movement in the unseen is real, and the victory is already signed in blood. Do not keep this fire to yourself. Your obedience in sharing this word is the key that will unlock the prison doors for others. The decree has left my mouth, and no demon in hell or man on earth can revoke it. The war is won, the path is clear, and the king is moving. Receive the touch that multiplies and frees you now, for the moment of your transformation is here. The atmosphere of the supernatural is thick with the scent of rain, for the drought of your life is ending today. You must understand that there are only minutes left before the spiritual resistance that has held you captive for years is shattered beyond repair. Do not be deceived by the silence of the world around you. In the unseen realms, a violent war is being waged for your destiny. Just as it was with Daniel, who prayed while principalities resisted his breakthrough in the heavens, you have been unaware of the shadows trying to intercept your blessing. But God has seen the resistance. He has heard the cry of your heart, and He has already released the final command. Archangel Michael has descended with the speed of lightning. He is not merely standing by. He is currently breaking through the iron barriers and the ancient walls of delay that have tried to keep you in the valley. Stop measuring the faithfulness of the Almighty by the ticking of human clocks or the limitations of your bank account. There are only a few hours left in this divine cycle for you to shift your perspective from the natural to the prophetic. What looks like a delay today is being forged into a monumental testimony that will be told for generations. What hurts in this moment is becoming the scar of a victor, for the divine is turning your tears into a harvest and your ruins into a temple of glory. Every seed of prayer you have ever planted, every tear shed for your mother, every plea for the protection of your sister, and every groan for the future of your loved ones, has been watered by the springs of heaven. Archangel Michael is already ahead of you, clearing the stones and driving back the wolves of oppression with a sword of living fire. If you could see the army surrounding you right now, you would fall to your knees in awe. They are walls of fire in the night, torches of truth burning through the fog of your fear. The divine has commanded that no evil shall have authority over your household. Your story does not end in the valley of shadows. It ends on the mountain of transfiguration. The season of waiting is officially over. The Archangel Michael has received the final order to fight until the victory is complete. Do not let fear steal your sleep or your peace in these final minutes of the day. The decree has left the mouth of the Most High. The great turning point is here. Look ahead with a faith that trembles the gates of hell. For the path has been marked in blood and the doors have been kicked open by the hosts of heaven. The promise is not just arriving. It is standing at your door today. Take a deep breath and receive the triumph that was written for you before the foundations of the world. The vibration of the heavens is intensifying, for we are down to the final minutes of this day. Do not be deceived by the stillness of your room. A violent, celestial collision is taking place over your head right now. When the battle is too intense for a common messenger, God does not send a minor spirit. He dispatches the Prince of the host. Archangel Michael is in motion at this very second, and he does not go out on small missions. He has been released for you. He is cutting the enemy's cords, tearing down the invisible strongholds of your past, and carving a path through the darkness that once seemed like an impassable wall. Listen to the voice of the divine. It is the sound of many waters refreshing your weary soul. You have spent hours wondering, did God hear me? Will the answer ever come? Hear the truth. Before you even finished forming the question, the Father had already inclined his ear. Before the word even reached your lips, he had already weighed the intention of your heart. You must understand that delay is never forgetfulness, and resistance is never defeat. Just as it was with Daniel, your answer has been traveling through spiritual paths where the principalities of darkness have tried to stage a coup. But they have failed. Today, their pride is being dismantled. Picture the battlefield of your life. The enemy has raised banners of shame and lack, setting traps and building walls of shadow to keep you from your horizon. But look, Archangel Michael has appeared, and his presence is a consuming fire. His flaming sword is striking down the evil decrees spoken against your mother, the curses aimed at your sister, and the webs of confusion trying to ensnare every loved one you hold dear. Every strike of his blade dismantles a generational chain. What you thought was a prison is being revealed today as a passage. You will see with your own eyes the walls of your debt, your sickness, and your fear collapsing into dust. God is not a distant observer of your pain. He has stepped down into your arena. When your strength failed, He commanded the legions of heaven to move toward you. Behind Michael, thousands upon thousands of angels are moving in perfect, terrifying unity. They are touching the hearts of people you haven't met yet. They are aligning circumstances and adjusting the timing of the universe to favor you. This is all happening now because you dared to cry out. The clock is relentless, and there is so little time left in this day to align your spirit. Do not look back at the narrow street of your struggles. Look at the avenue of victory being paved by the angelic hosts. The sea is opening, the ground is shaking, and the promise is being delivered into your hands. The divine has spoken. The season of being trapped is over. Step into the light before this hour passes. The clock is ticking with a divine ferocity, and as the sun sets on today, you must realize there are only minutes left to secure the vision of the new life God has constructed for you. Think of a house being built on empty land. For a season, you saw nothing but dust and barren ground. But beneath the surface, the foundations were being poured by the hands of the divine. Even when you could not see the walls rising or the roof being set, the work was in progress. Today, the construction is reaching its completion. Archangel Michael himself is overseeing the final details of your restoration, standing as the supreme foreman to ensure that not a single brick of your destiny deviates from the Master's plan. You must learn to look beyond the veil of the visible world. Your natural sight is limited, seeing only the tangled threads and meaningless knots on the back of a tapestry. You see confusion, you see pain, and you see the mess of a life that feels out of place. But the divine is looking at the other side, the side of the perfect design, the work of art where every scar is a stroke of beauty. Archangel Michael is ensuring that no thread of your life is lost. He is weaving the protection of your mother, the success of your sister, and the salvation of every loved one into a masterpiece of victory. What looks like a tragedy today will be revealed in just a few hours as a monument of grace. Do not let the thief of fear speak louder than the voice of the Creator. Fear is a liar that whispers that you have been forgotten and that your time has run out. But the truth is, it is already done. The decree has left the throne of grace, and the victory is certain. Remember when Israel stood before the Red Sea with a furious army at their backs and a wall of water in their front? There was no human way out, yet the command was given to lift the staff. Today you must lift your faith. Even if it seems there is no path forward, Archangel Michael has already received the order to part the waters of your impossibility. What was once an impassable barrier is becoming a bridge to your future. You may have lost sleep over the bills that pile up, the medical reports that bring terror, or the relationships that seem to be crumbling in your heart. But the divine is the great restorer. He is the one who takes the broken vessel and remakes it with hands of fire. Archangel Michael is already gathering the scattered pieces of your life, putting back what was out of place, and preparing the scene for a total turnaround. Doors are swinging open where there were once solid walls of rejection. Health is springing forth where there was once a sentence of death. Your sincere prayer was like an arrow released from the bow of a warrior, striking the very center of God's heart. He has never rejected a humble cry, and He has already answered you. Michael is simply the celestial guard ensuring that nothing, no demon, no debt, and no doubt, steals that answer from your hands. The time for waiting is finished. The hours are short, but the power is infinite. Stand firm, for the King has moved on your behalf. The weight of eternity is pressing down upon this moment, for there are only minutes left in this sacred window. Today, the divine is stripping away the veil that has kept you in spiritual blindness. You must understand that the silence you have endured was never absence. It was preparation. While you thought nothing was happening, the great strategist was moving the pieces on the board. You are not a forgotten soul. You are the chosen heir of a promise. Archangel Michael has been appointed as your personal messenger, and he does not fail. He is ensuring that the answer released from the throne reaches your hands now, before this day ends. Stop listening to the inner voices that try to weaken your faith. God has not scripted a tragedy for you. He has written a testimony that will shake the foundations of your lineage. Michael is not fighting for you because of your merit, but because of an unconditional love that has guarded you since before you were born. He is currently battling not only external enemies but the very spirits of doubt that have tried to steal the peace of your heart. You have only a few hours left to align yourself with this truth. You are not alone. My spirit is within you, and Archangel Michael is around you. A wall of living fire that no enemy can penetrate. Close your eyes for a moment and witness the spiritual reality. Thousands of angels are marching toward you today. At the very front is Michael, his presence shining like lightning, his sword raised to strike. Every step this heavenly multitude takes is like thunder, shaking the enemy's structures and shattering the invisible chains that have bound your mother, your sister, and every loved one in your house. Every movement of this army brings the answer closer. This is not fantasy. It is the weight of glory approaching your doorstep at this very second. The air has already shifted. The atmosphere is charged with the power of the divine. Hear the prophetic word. The enemies you see today you will never see again. The poverty, the sickness, and the torment that have hounded you will be scattered like smoke in a violent wind. Darkness cannot withstand the light that has been sent for you. The season of agonizing waiting is turning, in these final minutes, into a season of harvest. Your season of tears is becoming a season of laughter, for the night of mourning has been swallowed up by the dawn of victory. Archangel Michael does not retreat. The angels of God do not fail. The word has been spoken, the decree is signed, and your triumph is here. The clock has struck the hour of your deliverance. Claim it now. The countdown has reached its final intensity. Today, as the final minutes of this divine cycle slip through the hourglass, you must brace your heart for a collision with the impossible. Everything God has promised is now rushing toward fulfillment. Do not let the strength of your soul waver, for the heavens have not just cracked, they have been torn wide open over your head. You have spent hours and years in the waiting room of destiny, at times whispering to yourself that the promise was too grand to be true, or that the cruel hands of time had stolen your hope. But listen, the miracles prepared for your life are not only arriving, they are arriving in ways that defy every human calculation. The blessings descending upon you today will not be small, they will not be ordinary, and they will never be predictable. They will be so staggeringly unexpected that every person who once doubted you will be forced to acknowledge that only the divine could have orchestrated such a turnaround. Archangel Michael is not just marching. He is clearing the atmosphere and preparing the very environments you are about to walk into. God is the opener of doors that have no locks and the bringer of water from the dry. jagged rock. You are about to witness a move of power that bypasses logic and enters the realm of pure, celestial authority. Imagine yourself walking through a scorching desert, your feet cracked by the hot sand and your spirit exhausted to the point of collapse. Just when you feel you cannot endure another second, a lush oasis erupts from the dunes. This is how your breakthrough will manifest in these final hours. It will arrive at the moment of your greatest fatigue, yet it will be more than sufficient to transform your entire journey. People judged you as incapable. They whispered that your story was over. But God has prepared a miracle that will leave them astonished, for they will see His signature written across your life in letters of fire. Remember Peter, who toiled all night and caught nothing. His hope was fading into the gray of the morning. But when the divine command was given to cast the net on the other side, the boat nearly sank under the weight of the abundance. This is your prophetic reality now. In the very places where you have tried and failed, in the very areas where your mother struggled and your sister wept, I am sending a miracle that fills your life to the point of overflow. Do not look at your empty hands with despair. God is the multiplier of the little, the one who turns 5 loaves into a feast for thousands. Archangel Michael is standing guard over your harvest, ensuring that not a single fragment of your blessing is stolen by the enemy. The clock is ticking, but the King of Kings has already spoken. The miracle you no longer expected is standing at your door today. Open it with faith, for your season of lack is being swallowed by the abundance of heaven. The countdown has reached its final, most intense stage. As the sun sets on today, you must realize there are only minutes left in this sacred window of visitation. God is already arranging the heavens, shifting the tectonic plates of your circumstances, and preparing the very ground you are about to walk upon. The unexpected is about to become your daily routine. You will see the hands of the divine working in details you never thought mattered, in the effortless opening of doors, in the sudden appearance of helpers who offer no explanation, and in solutions that arise from the ashes of impossible situations. This is the proof that the King of Kings cares for every beat of your heart. He is the God of the earthquake, but He is also the God of the small, tender surprises that warm the spirit. You asked for answers and they have been released, but listen, beyond your requests, the divine has prepared surprises you never even dared to whisper. Because He is a father, and a father always desires to give more than the child expects, He is not only meeting your survival needs, but also the hidden, silent desires that you buried in the name of realism. Those dreams you kept in secret, the healing of your mother, the restoration of your sister, and the prosperity of every loved one, are being revived in these final hours. Archangel Michael is standing at the threshold of your future, ensuring that nothing deviates from this master plan. He is moving with a flaming sword to guard the dreams you thought were impossible. He is organizing the celestial corridors to ensure that your harvest is not just a trickle, but a flood. You have spent too many hours in lack. Today, the divine declares that your season of just enough is over. The Father is reaching into the hidden places of your soul to bring forth beauty from the shadows. The clock is relentless, but the grace is infinite. Do not look back at the desert you have traveled. Look at the oasis that has appeared in the middle of the sand. Archangel Michael is clearing the path, and the heavenly host is singing the song of your arrival. This is your moment. This is your decree. This is the hour where the impossible becomes your testimony. Receive it now before the day is done.